In the dazzling city of Abuja, there lived a very handsome man named Spencer and his beautiful girlfriend Zuri. They've dated for a period of 5 years. They practically started dating from university. They've known themselves for a long period of time. They had dreams. They had their life figured out. They already knew what they wanted out of life. Spencer was a medical student, and he knew that when he was done with school, he was going to specialize in bone. Whereas Zuri was an engineer, and she knew that when she was done, she was going to get a job in a very good paying organization because they both wanted to live a simple life, a life filled with joy, love, peace, patience. They always wanted to return back by 6 p.m., had family time, had couples time, had vacation, and so many others. But will life really turn out this way for them? As the days went by, Spencer graduated as the best medical student and was able to get himself a space in National Teaching Hospital, Abuja. He was doing well for himself. He was already exploring, treating patients, getting experience, and living a good life. He was living in a very small self-contained, as he and Zuri had planned that they were going to save money together and get a very big apartment for themselves. And the moment they get the apartment, they were going to get married. Zuri was also staying with her friend at that time, Mandy and Tessie. After school, Zuri got a very good paying job at DKT engineering firm. Zuri was doing well. In fact, her talent was known. Her boss, Ola, observed her closely and he knew that Zuri was a rare gem. But the very thing that made Zuri upset was the fact that every project she handled turns out to be a success, but Ola takes all the glory because he was the department head. The moment she was done organizing the project, he was going to quickly tell her, Zuri, email me the project. And the moment Zuri emails the project to him, he was going to tell her to come and present in his office, stealing her knowledge, stealing every word that come out from her mouth, because some things Zuri might say might not even be in the project, but the moment she starts to present it to him, the knowledge begins to come together and she begins to say the way she felt when actually carrying out this project. Ola, being the most arrogant and annoying boss, will sit down and cram everything and go and present it. So his team was always winning, but he was the one that was always giving the high bonuses. Zuri was offended with that, knowing fully well that everything Ola has won in their department came through her. And Ola could not even find it in his heart to at least appreciate her. He always took the bigger check home. Whereas she was left with peanuts. That was the true definition of monkey they walk, babu they chop. Ola took all glory, the extra bonuses, anything that came from every project, the percentage, Ola was always taking it. Zuri was really annoyed. That wasn't her plan. She felt that if she was able to get an innovative project, something that was good, she was going to get a very big bonus. But that wasn't happening. One fateful day, Ola told her to go prepare some projects, to which Zuri did, and this project came out fantabulously well. But Zuri had made up her mind that she was going to get the glory for this. She was not going to leave it all to Ola. So what she did was that she presented the project to Ola, but on that particular day, the file she had sent to Ola that morning, she locked some information. So while he was presenting, he got stuck. He could not say anything. He could not even complete a statement. And the investors quickly asked him, Sir, I thought you said this is a teamwork. If you're stopped, you can call someone from your team to help you out. And the moment Zuri took the mic, Zuri kept on speaking. In fact, the investors could see that Zuri was the one that carried out that project. She wasn't speaking like someone that had crammed the work. She was speaking like someone that knew what was happening. She was speaking like someone that could do it. She knew what had happened there. And they quickly signed a deal with them. But they wanted to work with Zuri, knowing fully well that Zuri knew the job. Everyone was happy in the department apart from Ola. Ola felt that Zuri wanted to come and outshine him. Him that helped to give her the job, Zuri wants to come and outshine him. So he told himself that he was going to set a little trap for her. So that fateful evening, Ola took Zuri out for an investor's dinner. Zuri was really glad. Zuri loved to always showcase her brain, her talent wherever investors are, because she feels that the more investors they get to their company, the better and the bigger her pay will be. So Zuri dressed fantabulously well and followed Mr. Ola for this. Unknown to Zuri, Ola had it all planned. The moment they got there, he quickly asked Zuri to go sit down close to the investor so she could tell him everything about this new project. Zuri was glad. She kept on explaining herself to these investors. A particular man, Mr. Amobi, wasn't even interested in whatsoever Zuri was saying. While Zuri was talking, he quickly extended his hand and wanted to embrace her, trying to talk into her ears like as if he was trying to romance her. Zuri quickly told him, "Sorry sir, but I didn't come here for this. I came here to tell you about our new innovation and I really want you to invest in it." Amobi looked at her and said, "Why are you behaving like a child? When you were asked to come here, didn't you know what you were coming here for? Look around. Are you seeing any lady here apart from you?" And that was when it clicked to her that actually Ola set her up. She quickly stood up and told Mr. Amobi, "I'm very, very sorry, but I am not caught up for this. I came here with the mindset I was coming to talk to investors, like mine, people who understand the job and want to get the job done. I am not caught out for this charade that you people have made up your mind to do." And she left. Mr. Amobi felt insulted with what Zuri had done because he had already informed Ola about it. So Ola, that felt that he was trying to set Zuri up, ended up setting everybody up because both Amobi and his friends, none of them invested in the company. But Ola didn't want to say the truth. Rather, when he went back to the company to report, he quickly told them that Zuri insulted Mr. Amobi and other investors. So everyone blamed her for not getting the investors. Everyone made it feel like she was dragging them down. Whatsoever she did, rather than being appreciated, she was always insulted for it. Zuri felt bad about everything. She walked to Mr. Ola to confront the whole situation. And Mr. Ola told her that it's none of his business. She signed up for it. She knew what to do. She would have just kept quiet and allowed Mr. Amobi have his way, and they would have gotten the investments. Zuri couldn't believe what was coming out from Mr. Ola's mouth. And she looked at him and said, "Sir, if it were your daughter, will you allow her to sit down there and allow another man kiss her the way he was doing?" Ola quickly stood up and asked, "What do you mean by that?" Zuri looked at him and said, "Thank you. You just opened my eyes and now I have a better understanding. I have perceived Pepe and I know how hot Pepe can be." She quickly dropped her resignation letter and left. That evening, she had called her boyfriend Spencer. Spencer tried to console her in all ways he could. He even told her that she could relax for a period of 1 month, 2 months and go get another job, as they already had a dream and they couldn't delay. She was already 27. Spencer was getting towards 30. They had their life all figured out and they didn't want any delay in any way. So while Zuri sat down to think about everything, Zuri made up her mind that she was going to open her own engineering firm. She knew the job. She knew everything that was needed. She already had friends that she could talk to, people that could advise her. All she needed was an investor, someone that was going to invest in her business, someone that was going to see her work and appreciate her work. So she made up her mind that she was going to tell Spencer that she wanted to open her firm. That day, after she had invited Spencer over for dinner, while they communicated, she told Spencer that she wanted to open her own engineering firm. Spencer looked at her and told her, "Are you sure about this? Do you know it takes a lot to open your own company, what's more your own firm?" Zuri looked at him and said, "I know. I believe in myself. I have a bigger dream now. I want to get to the top." Spencer looked at her. At that moment, he felt bad. He felt a bit betrayed because this wasn't their plan all along. They already had their life all planned up. So why was she trying to divert everything? But he tried to encourage himself in his own little way and even told Zuri that whatsoever she needs, she could reach out to him. To which Zuri said, "Thank you." So Zuri started trying everything possible to open her own firm. When she had come up with the plan, what to do, when she had even created a new design, she started looking for an investor, someone that was going to invest in her firm, but it was very difficult to do. So during one of those occasions, Spencer had invited her for a dinner and proposed marriage to her. He felt like if he should propose marriage to Zuri, she was going to understand that time waits for no one. She was getting old and it was better to concentrate more on their dream, something they've already spoken about for a period of 5 years. But Zuri looked at him and told him, Spencer, you know me. When I say I want something, I try to get it done. I don't want you to feel like as if I'm not into this relationship anymore. But I want you to know that I also have a dream. You don't expect me to always work for people. You don't expect me to always lick the bum bum of people. You know how I was poorly treated in my former film. You know how everything went down. Spencer looked at her and said, I know, but I really love you and I want us to be together. Zuri collected the ring from him and told him, don't worry, I'm going to keep the ring. But the moment I get an investor and everything is okay, I promise you I'm going to come and get married to you. We're going to fix our lives and everything. But that didn't seem coming because the investors weren't coming forth and Zuri barely paid attention to her relationship. Spencer always felt alone. Whenever he returned and wanted to talk to her, she was busy. Whenever he was even free from work and wanted to have lunch with her, she was trying to get one job done or the other. And the days he had cancelled everything from work and wanted to even spend the time with her in her own little office, she was too busy to get to know that Spencer was his sister. In fact, Spencer was equivalent to a background. And that was when Spencer made up his mind that this relationship was not going to hold. But he tried to tell himself that this was the starting phase. And she's under pressure. She's trying to get an investor. So he tried to look at the bright side of everything. One fateful day, while Zuri was having dinner in Spencer's house and his friends were also around, they had brought up the fact that she was trying to open a new company. Zuri was inside washing her hand. She wasn't even in the living room. But she overheard the boys talking and she heard her own boyfriend, Spencer, telling his friends that he knows that she was going to fail. But he was just trying to encourage her because Zuri is a strong-headed kind of person. She doesn't even have enough capital to start a company. What more an investor? I just want to allow her to go through with it, but I know that she might not succeed. Zuri heard this word and felt betrayed. Then Spencer had already given up on her even while she was still trying to get to her feet. She really felt bad about everything. She felt betrayed with those words. And because she took these words to heart, she barely made time for Spencer. Rather than the relationship getting better, it became worse. Every day was a deeper problem one way or the other. And with the passing days, Zuri had bagged herself a very rich investor, a very young, handsome man. His name was Kenneth. Zuri had presented everything about what she wanted to produce, what she was bringing to the table. Kenneth loved her work. It was new. It wasn't something she copied. It was different. It was perfect. And he opened up that he was going to invest in her company. Zuri was really, really glad. So a few days down the line, after they had signed all necessary agreements, he had told her the percentage of shares he was going to accumulate from the company. They had agreed on everything. Zuri quickly went to Spencer's home to share the good news with him. But Spencer looked at her that day and told her, let us break up. Zuri was trying to understand what was going on here. I'm trying to tell you that we can start a family, we can start a life. Spencer told her, Zuri, it's not going to work. This relationship, it's not going to work. You were always absent. You were always not available. And aside that, we wanted a simple family. We wanted something simple. We spoke about getting our own home. We spoke about closing work by 6. Zuri, with this your big dreams, I don't think it's going to be possible. And I don't want to be a hindrance to your dream. I love you and I love you deeply. But one thing I want you to know is that this whole relationship cannot work. Yes, now you've gotten an investor. Very soon, he's going to want you to keep producing. Investors don't drop their money where it's not going to keep giving them cash. And the more you're absent, the more I'm losing it. So please and please, I would love to break up with you. Though polite, but very, very annoying. Zuri cried. She cried for a total of 1 month. Spencer. She had given Spencer 5 years of her life, and he just threw it away because he thought that they couldn't be perfect. So what changed? Wasn't she permitted to have her own dreams? Wasn't she permitted to be rich in life? Was she always supposed to eat from the master's food? After processing it, she focused more on her job. She continued chasing her dream, and she started being recognized. People started recognizing her company. Zuri International, it was a known name. People wanted to know who was this young girl that had taken up innovation and was beating the market. Every tech she brought to the table stood out. Everything she brought stood out. Kenneth, her investor, became glad. He had already invested in so many companies, but this company was doubling his effort. Zuri was bringing everything to the table. In fact, Zuri was the table. On Zuri's 28th birthday, Mandy and Tessie had decided to go celebrate with her, as she was always busy and they hardly saw her. Zuri had already booked a very beautiful restaurant for the girls to hang out. Unknown to them, Zuri came very, very early. She was sitting in the restaurant. Spencer had come to drop Mandy off. Zuri watched closely what was going on, and that was when she found out that Spencer was in a relationship with her best friend Mandy, and she couldn't process it. What was going on here? Yes, we've broken up for a period of 6 months, but why is Mandy in the picture all of a sudden? Is it that she always liked him? Was she always jealous of me? But she didn't want to take it to heart. She tried to comport herself. Why they spoke about their businesses, careers, and what was going on? Mandy had brought out a cake, Zuri's favorite cake, and asked Zuri to blow the candle. But Zuri couldn't bring herself to. She looked at Mandy and told Mandy, "I saw everything," and she quickly walked out of the restaurant. Mandy felt bad. Spencer had come to her, though she loved Spencer even when Spencer was in a relationship with Zuri, but she had to keep her feelings all bottled up. But the moment they broke up, things started working out for she and Spencer. She did not steal Spencer away from her. If only Zuri could understand. It took Zuri a whole while to understand what was going on, to process what was going on. And she actually found out that the relationship started after they've broken up. And it was not even long they started dating before her birthday. So she had to let go. She had to let go of Spencer. And she also had to forgive her friend, Mandy. And while she worked and grew her fame, she had already caught the attention of Kenneth, unknown to her. Kenneth gradually always paid her a visit. From bringing her lunch to stating that he decided to come around, or he just wanted to know what was going on in the company. Or some other times he'll say he had a meeting around. But gradually something brought Kenneth to Zuri. And with the passing days, Zuri and Kenneth became a thing. They went out on various dates. They went out on various projects. They went out on various things. Kenneth started introducing Zuri to his cycle, to the men that mattered to him, to the people that were important to him. And it didn't take long. Kenneth introduced Zuri to his family members, and they were all loving. They loved Zuri. They had seen her work. They had seen her portfolio. They had seen what she had brought to the table. Everything she does was speaking for itself. They loved everything about Zuri. Even though she lost Spencer, she found love in Kenneth, the love she would have never found in Spencer, as Kenneth knew her job and was ready to walk every step with her. Kenneth was ready to hold her and walk every step. He was that encouraging husband. He was that husband that was always available when needed. Zuri and Kenneth welcomed their baby and they lived happily ever after. Something Zuri was always grateful for was that she never held grudges with Spencer or Mandy. Rather, she let them go. Yes, they later got married, but she was more happy where she was. Spencer would have dragged her down if she wanted to continue the relationship. Having heard that they should break up broke her down. She was even ready to give up everything. She was ready to stop the company in order to be with Spencer, but he still insisted that they should break up. but she's really glad that she moved on. She picked herself up and moved on. Hey besties! It's your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please, I would like you to share what you've learned from the story. Do you think what Spencer did was right? Personally, I felt like what Spencer did was right. Rather than being in the relationship and dragging her down, it was better to walk away. The pain was going to be there, but it was going to be a temporal pain. It was not going to last forever. Please and please, I would like you to share what you've learned from the story. Please do not forget to share our stories to your loved ones. So we'll see you again in our next story. Bye for now.